Join spiritual feminist and empowerment coach Joni Advent Maher for Trust Your Sacred Feminine Flow. Listen in for intimate conversations about money, transformation, and feminine sovereignty. And now, your host, Joni Advent Maher.
Welcome to Trust Your Sacred Feminine Flow. I'm your host, Joni Advent Maher, mystic, spiritual midwife, and transformational guide. So I'm sitting here this evening with my salt lamp on, but otherwise in the dark. So we're going to be taking a short journey today into the sweet and rich and fertile darkness. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are in the season of growing darkness, and we're in the season of shedding and composting and letting go, slowing down, and of hibernating, of resting, of going into that slower rhythm. And no matter where you are as you're listening to this, whether you're in the Southern Hemisphere as the light is growing, it is still beneficial to learn to partner with the darkness. And what I mean is that sweet and rich, fertile darkness of the womb space, of the Mother Earth, that darkness that can hold us in a way that the light is incapable of doing. So if at all possible, if you can listen to this episode in the dark, that would be absolutely optimal. But if not, you can listen and receive what's coming through, and then the next time you go into the darkness, you can recall that. So for example, the next time you crawl into bed and under your covers and you close your eyes, you can imagine that you're deep beneath the earth in a dark cave, and that the walls are warm and the earth is holding you with love. Or you could imagine that you're a seed resting in the deep, rich soil, and that now is your time to rest and to gather yourself. Your day will come to begin rooting and rising, but for now, rest and release all you've completed and all that you no longer need. So it's so vitally important for us to say yes to the cycle of the winter, of going into the darkness, the growing darkness, and allowing ourselves to both release and shed and compost what is no longer vital or necessary for us any longer, to allow ourselves to go fallow and to rest and to gather up all that we need. So that darkness is the deep feminine. It is the womb space of the great mother from which all life arises, from which we have arisen, and where each of us have begun our journey of life here on earth. So when we allow ourselves the space to go back into the darkness and return to that womb of the Great Mother, there is much nourishment, restoration, healing, and possibility for us. So, In that vein, the next time evening comes, leave your lights off, find a comfortable spot, and allow yourself to enter and be held by the darkness, just like that womb of the Great Mother. And consider, what can you release to her care? Can you let go of the efforts, the worries, and striving? Can you return to your breath in the still, quiet darkness and remember, for right now, everything is okay, just as it is. There's nothing to do. Just be present and be held in the womb of the mother for as long as you need. The new possibility, the new you, is born from this state of deep rest, of deep gestation. So with all that's happening in our world and in our lives these days, there is so much intensity. There is so much shadow coming up to the surface. And our bodies and our energy systems really need this time of darkness, this time of fallowness. And what I mean by the darkness, I'm speaking of that sweet, rich, fertile darkness. I'm not necessarily speaking about the shadow darkness, although that is part of the equation as well. But we all need that reset that can come with learning to embrace and partner with the darkness, to find times and spaces to embrace that. So that is what I was called to share with you today. And until next time, beloved, always trust what your heart knows.
Thanks for listening to Trust Your Sacred Feminine Flow with Joni Advent Maher. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share our podcast with a friend and subscribe, rate, and review at Apple Podcasts.